Hi everyone, this is Shayna Hiller from Build Your Personal Yoga Business, and welcome to video number 3 in the Yoga Retreat Blueprint, the magical Yoga Retreat Blueprint. I am so grateful to share this information with you. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of yoga retreats and the final steps on really how to solidify this and make this a reality for yourself. So, what we got today. First on the list is DIY. We all know what that stands for. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. I'm going to actually write that. Yourself. Got it, okay? Do it yourself. I mentioned this in the previous 2 videos. I do not have a retreat. There are so many retreat companies out there. I mean, more power to them. What a smart idea to actually take a percentage. So basically, retreat, and they've reached out to me numerous times. Retreat companies want to kind of get yoga teachers to host retreats, but they take the money and they pay you as a yoga teacher part of the money. Because I started hosting yoga retreats before yoga retreats were popular, that stuff didn't exist. So I had to learn how to handle money and how to pay deposits and how to write welcome letters and how to figure out travel information and how to even actually host a yoga retreat, which is different than just teaching yoga. So I learned through experience, and that's what my intention is, to prevent or to eliminate the burden of having to learn it all on your own. And yes, your experience will still be the teacher, but I'd like to also be able to ease your mind a little bit about, some of the unknowns. Okay, so do it yourself. I strongly encourage you. You'll make more money when you do it yourself. You'll learn more. You'll be able to tune into the business side that you may not think you have. But take it from me, an ex-nomad, you've got it. And I've said this in the first video, my intention is to bridge the seeming gap between the spiritual world and the material world so that you can harness your skills and in order to be able to serve more. You can harness your skills. You've got a brain. You're here watching this video. You obviously know deep down there's something in you that wants to be birthed, that wants to create itself through you. So all I can say is to keep trusting yourself. Take the time it takes, but avoid being blocked or paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. I want to come in and clear your mind of any type of doubt or uncertainty. All of this lifestyle of hosting yoga retreats, getting paid to travel, selling out yoga retreats, learning more about marketing is all within you already. It's all within you, and it's just a process of discovering and rediscovering. Okay? So keep watching. Second, we've got, what do you know? Marketing. Ew, I'm going to turn the video off now. Just kidding. Marketing. Mindful marketing. Okay? Marketing is such an interesting word. I ran away from it for years, and it is the most important part if you want to sell a yoga retreat. You can design and come up with incredible content for your yoga retreat and sit there and crickets come and nothing happens. You got to find creative ways to market your yoga retreats. So some of that includes, if you are teaching public classes, you can announce it in your classes. I always do that. At the end of a class, I invite people on my yoga retreat. There was a time when I would talk about my yoga retreats and I felt bad to be marketing, and the energy of my words felt yucky, and no one came up to me and no one signed up from yoga classes because I was rushed. I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a yoga retreat coming up. Let me know if you're interested. That's exciting. Now I sit there at the end of class when it feels inspired, not because I feel like I have to. I say, hey, you guys, by the way, if you like this, I'm teaching a yoga retreat in Costa Rica. You're invited. It's going to be 7 days in the jungle. We're going to do yoga and some really awesome dynamic meditations, eat organic food. If you've never been on a yoga retreat, I have a lot of first-timers. Please come up to me. I'm going to be standing in the corner by the stereo, and I do have some postcards around the corner that you can take on your way out. Wow. And I look into each and every student's eyes as I am saying that. That's a practice. It has to do with holding space, right? We talked about that in the previous video. Postcards are another way to market your retreats. Even with the advance of digital and technology and internet marketing and social media, good old postcards still work. it's a physical thing. To me, when someone picks up a postcard, it's actually like closer to a yes than someone just clicking like on a social media post, right? It requires a physical act. So I get postcards made on various different postcard software online, which I talk about in my e-course, so you can check that out there. But the postcards are amazing. I leave them at yoga studios, and I also leave them at other types of places like spas. There's creative ways to kind of get your information into the people's hands that maybe don't know or don't know where to find something but really want what you're offering. So you kind of got to use your brain to think outside of the box for that. Obviously, internet marketing, I do paid ads on Facebook sometimes. I do regular ads on social media, on Instagram. I say collect yourself and don't spread yourself thin. There's a magic to social media marketing, and it has to do with tuning into the avenue that suits you best. I don't use Twitter. I don't use other, certain things. I do use YouTube at times. You got to find which channel speaks to you the most. Again, I go deep into marketing in my e-course, so you can find all of the details of marketing, mindful, authentic marketing there. But know that it is crucial if you want to sell anything. And what you're selling, remember, is an experience. It's a service. It has to do with emotions. How are people going to feel when they're on your experience? Speaking to that as opposed to, hey, come on my retreat. No, what are you giving to them? What are they going to experience? What are the benefits of investing in themselves in this way? And when you can really connect on that heart level, it's impossible. It's impossible to fail. Third, I put the little money sign next to the M. Moolah, or money. So you gotta be cool with the money and know that money is just a form of energy. Money is a form of energy. And when it comes to retreats, what I'll say here, which I think is the most important, is since you're going to be doing it by yourself, most likely, right? And you can always ask me more questions if you have about this specifics, and I can, guide you in the way that I know best. So right now, I use PayPal for my yoga retreats, unless people want to pay by cash or check. When people pay by cash or check, there's no fee. If people pay on PayPal, I actually will add a 2.9% fee. I never used to do this, and I realized, wait a second, PayPal is eating a lot of my money because they have a 2.9% fee. So if somebody pays by credit card through my PayPal link that I give them, it takes a lot of money. And especially when you're dealing with bigger chunks of money, bigger numbers, that's a significant amount of money. So I let people know that if they are paying by credit card, there is going to be a larger charge, the 2.9% charge, and then I get exactly what I need in terms of that. In terms of what to charge for a yoga retreat, that's also something that you got to get clear with in yourself. It's very much the same as what to charge for teaching private yoga. Not the same number, but depending on the duration of your retreat and your personal needs, it should not necessarily be a number that you just randomly come up with. It needs to be specific. What does the Yoga Retreat Center charge per person, and what profit do you need in order to feel sustained, in order to feel like, all right, I got this, and once I break even, my flight's covered, so forth and so on. Let me just say one thing here. The first yoga retreat I ever ran, I lost money on, and I still went through with it. I still ran it. So just know that. The first yoga retreat, I had 3 people. I lost money. I had to pay for my flight. I didn't get paid when I was there, and I did it with full commitment. The next year, same retreat, quadrupled, 12 people. So sticking with your intention and going through with it, business evolution happens in very interesting ways. So stay connected to what's true for you and what you're committing to. So right now these days, I charge the base rate. So for example, I am running an upcoming retreat for a single room or a shared room. Per person, it costs about $900. Right? I'm running this retreat with a partner, so I have to make sure that we both get paid. So my upsell for the retreat is usually $1,000, meaning what costs a retreat center $895, I price at $1,895. So each of us makes $500 on that person. I hope that makes sense. So you name the price of the retreat. Now, if you're like, oh, I want to make $6,000 on each person, well, then you're not going to sell out your retreat unless you're Oprah. Are you Oprah? If so, hey! So you gotta be realistic and start doing some research of, well, what are other people charging for similar types of retreats, and be in the ballpark, and at the same time tune in with your unique offering and what speaks to you. Maybe you're doing a VIP retreat. You know, for a very small amount of people, you charge $5,000 a person, and you're making $3,000 per person. You know, you can build up to that. If you want to go right for it, listen, I'm not going to stop you. You just follow your truth. Okay, so money, how much to charge, and how to deal with those percentages. It's kind of, it's, again, the experience is going to give you the learning, and I'm here to support you. So if you have specific questions, don't feel shy to ask. I'm just trying to think of anything else around money. Money, 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 money. Oh, I always save. So all you got to do is run one successful retreat, and I put $2,000, I keep it in a separate account, and I use that to pay my next deposit for my next retreat. So that initial deposit that may have to come out of your pocket, which you will get back once you sell your retreat, the money that I make on my retreat, I take a chunk of that, about $2,000, maybe a little bit less, about $1,500, and I'll use that toward booking my next deposit, so I don't feel like I'm taking it out of my pocket again. That's something smart in terms of budgeting. You may want to take that money out and keep it for yourself, but I suggest having a separate retreat account, knowing that you're probably going to have to put forth that money for a future deposit if you decide to host another yoga retreat. And the final here is insurance. It's really important to have insurance when you're hosting a yoga retreat and teaching private yoga. Public yoga studios usually have a waiver, so a liability form, so you're kind of under their umbrella depending on where you teach. But having some sort of personal insurance that covers you is really important, especially if you're hosting a retreat that involves, you know, adventure, hiking, and types of stuff out in nature where people could potentially get injured, or flights, this, that, the other thing. Although they probably have their own insurance for the actual travel. So I have a list of insurance companies in my e-course that you can find out some very affordable year-long insurance programs that you can renew every year. It's just very important to have personal insurance as a yoga teacher and as a guide. Does that make sense? Oprah, are you still watching? Okay, good. Just making sure. Okay, so we got do it yourself. Know, trust yourself. You've got what it takes. Even if it's hard, these are step by step. You know, all you got to do is say yes and get the ball rolling. Again, I learned without having a blueprint. I learned without having anyone to talk to about this, you know, so it was kind of like trial and error for a long time, but I lost money on my first retreat, and I've made money on every one after, and I've sold out almost all of my retreats, to the extent that I'm now running 4 retreats per year, 4 different themed retreats in different parts of the world. So this can be a full-time gig for you if you want it to be. This can potentially lead you toward maybe hosting yoga teacher trainings if that feels aligned. Or it can really, you know, what hosting yoga retreats did for me is that it taught me that I have more to offer than just teaching yoga in public classes, and that I actually can step up as a leader in this field, and it built my confidence. I mean, even doing videos like this, I used to be so shy. I would stutter all the time, but it's really like a deep knowingness of my purpose and mission to share these tools with you so that you can feel inspired, empowered to kind of teach the other people and share them with other people, so that we're creating this ripple effect. And especially when it has to do with yoga or healing or travel or wellness or wealth, for that matter. Wealth is health too. Getting a healthy relationship with money and abundance and your capacity to receive, your deservingness to thrive in any and every aspect of your life. That's really my goal for you. So trust yourself. Take one step today toward your dreams. I look forward to supporting you on your journey. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and I wish you nothing but magic and miracles and mindful marketing and all that good stuff. See you soon. Namaste. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't yet gotten the e-course, You can get the e-course on my website, buildyouryogabiz.com. Email me, I'll give you more information. It goes way into depth about marketing, about building healthy relationships with money, holding space, and truly envisioning your future so that you can discover your voice and make magic happen. See you soon. Bye, guys.